right, so I am Claire Bodensteiner. I work for Amazon Music, and I lead a product group there. And we really focus on selling artists and podcast merch. We work with a number of different artists like Beyonce, Doja Cat, and athletes like LeBron James. But I'm actually not here to talk about that, really, at all. I'm here to talk about the work of a very good friend of mine and former teammate, Susan King-Borchard. So would everybody help welcome Susan to the stage?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So just for context, Susan and I, we go way back. I feel like of all the people that have been on this stage, we might know each other the longest, like 20-ish years,
Yep.
I think. We played basketball together at Stanford. I know, thank you. Yeah, there's like a lot of like East Coasters here, and I know like UConn's a thing a little bit in women's basketball, but we were pretty good back in the day.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we were pretty good. I think we beat them.
We did.
I know like the UConn players aren't here yet, so I can say that.
And I work with like
all of them.
many.
Yeah. At any rate, so Susan and I play together, and then we've known each other, through your marriage to Curtis. You've got 4 kids. Carrie and I got married. We had 3 kids, and I've really had like a front seat to watching this kind of incredible career of yours evolve and develop. So I'm really excited to sit here today and share with you guys some of Susan's work, because my hunch is that there's a fair amount of women's sports fans out there. If you are, let's get a shout out. There we go. Yep.
Hey.
And not only that, is women's sports is on a just a trajectory that's kind of crazy. And a lot of the athletes and clients that Susan works with, you guys know, but you don't know that maybe the reason why they are performing at the level that they're performing at is because of Susan. So thank you for coming today and sharing with us all the stuff that you do. I'm curious, Susan, when you are describing what you do to people who are maybe not as familiar, how do you describe what you do?
Okay, I am the director of the Athlete Blueprint, which is a boutique sports performance company, and we have the absolute pleasure of working with some of the best female athletes in the world. So when we work with them, we sort of have an all-encompassing approach. We're looking at their nutrition, we're looking at their strength, we're looking at their conditioning, their recovery, and sort of the whole performance puzzle and how we put that together for each of them in their own unique and individualized way.
Awesome. And then tell the group, again, we've known each other for so long, so I've seen, all the different people that you've worked with over the years. Tell them the very beginning, how did you get into this space? How did you start? I know as teammates, you were always the fittest. You were always, the most, I would say, into the extra workout and had a really high level of discipline. But tell everybody how that kind of has translated into, a career for you.
Okay, well, I started playing at Stanford. I played for the Minnesota Lynx for a little bit. My husband also played in the NBA, and he was there, but then after that, we transitioned overseas, and I ended up starting my sort of life in sports performance with his team in the Spanish League. And so I worked over there, came back, did this job at Stanford, and then I ended up going to the Seattle Storm as their performance coach, and Sue was on that team. And so I was there for a while, and then my husband finished playing. We moved to Oregon. We had 4 kiddos, and so I was going to be mom at that point, and he was going to physical therapy school. And Sue was like, hey, we need to keep doing this. How can we figure out a way to keep working together? And I was like, I don't know. That would be really hard. We wouldn't be in the same space. And she's like, let's just try. And so that's sort of how we started, and just bit by bit, we've done our very best to kind of serve the athlete in front of us, and it's grown organically, and the people we get to work with, truly it's a dream, and I really love what I get to do, so.
I remember, you may not remember this story, but we were at a Stanford game for an alumni event, and I think your kids were really little at this time, and you were talking about how you had just started to kind of work with Sue. And it's hard. To work at that level with having young kids, and you were like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to kind of manage all of this. And I remember that was I think 5-ish years kind of before she retired. And living in Seattle, we went to a number of her kind of final games. And it's so interesting when you say that, because thinking about how you were able to really extend her career over the last 5 years. Those are some of her best moments, in my opinion. And so I just recall like you kind of going like, I don't know how this is going to work out, but we're going to figure it out. And like you guys really, you sure did. So I think there's a video here. If anybody watched the Sue Bird documentary? Raise your hand. Anybody? I happen to have watched it because my 11-year-old daughter did a documentary report on Sue Bird. And so we were in our living room, we were watching this, and I did not know that this was up there, but Susan is actually in the documentary. So I think we have that clip here. I'm going to try. I can't see up here on where we are, but do you guys have that video that you guys can play for the group?
It's playing.
Awesome.
Is there volume?
Is there volume? Can you guys hear that? Do you guys know if you can restart that video with sound?
It's okay. You can just move on.
All right. Anyways, okay. Well, is it still playing? It's over. It's still playing? Okay. As that's going, I think the highlights for me in that were, and maybe you can talk a little bit about it, but, you know, Sue had a lot of injuries kind of mid-career. I think she tore ACL, she had some hip challenges, right? She had some hip, actually, surgeries.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about how you actually helped evolve her game based on some of maybe the like movement restrictions that she had later on in her career.
Mm-hmm. One of the things with Sue, but also with any of these athletes we're working with, they're all going to have some level of constraint, right? And so instead of focusing on what they can't do, we really try and focus on what they can do and sort of putting in work there and then having that transfer. And so for someone like Sue, at the beginning of her career, she was really great at like stopping on a dime and being really explosive and things like that. And when you're 20 versus when you're 40, that's different, right? And so we're doing all the things to keep her healthy and safe and all of that, but then figuring out like, okay, maybe that jump shot can't be your meat and potatoes anymore, but what could we add that's sort of in the same realm and rep that out from a strength perspective, but also an on-court skill perspective. And so working closely with her performance coaches on the court.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really unique blend of what you do. And I know you're heavily focused on like the performance and kind of the strength side, but having that basketball experience and actually being a player yourself, like, I mean, I know you get out there on the court with them, you can help evolve their game to having maybe more of a floater versus a jump stop, and you actually are like a coach, an additional coach for them on an individual level, which I think is pretty special.
In some ways, I think the other thing that there's a bit of a niche for is coordinating directly with the performance coaches on the court and like really being able to explain to them what I want and what I don't want for an athlete, especially when they're returning to play from an injury or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably pretty important with a couple of the athletes you're working with right now. So you guys all know she works with Sue. I'm going to kind of run through the list of people who Susan has worked with, some of whom I'm sure you guys have heard of. So Sue led to the GOAT, in my opinion, Diana Taurasi. You guys probably all know Diana. Nneka Ogwumike, one of my favorites. Stewie, Brianna Stewart. Kelsey Plum, Skylar Diggins, Rookie of the Year Paige Beckers, Cam Brink, Satu Sabli. And then on the soccer side, you've worked with Megan Rapinoe, and currently you're working with Rose Lavelle, is that right? And I'm sure there's a number of other ones, right? Yeah, there we go. So as you guys can tell, I think the level of clients that you have in the roster is pretty impressive. Outside of that and beyond that, you consult for multiple brands. You consult with multiple WNBA teams, college programs. You're the director of performance of Recovery for Unrivaled. Anyone heard or go to any Unrivaled stuff?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. And then the last two Olympics, you've been the performance coach for USA Women's Basketball.
Yes.
Both of whom have won gold medals. Awesome.
Thank you.
So do you get a gold medal? I'm just curious.
I
I've
do,
never asked you. You have a gold medal? You have two? Susan, that's awesome.
It was
We should have
cool.
had you bring them.
It was really cool.
Do you like travel with them?
No.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I'm going off script here. Awesome. So as you guys can tell, I think the biggest piece here is just the level of athletes that she's worked with. It's generational talent. And I, as a sports fan, know and understand the importance of your work as a former athlete. I think just the level of detail that you provide your athletes and the level of engagement really does help keep them on either the court or the field for longer in their careers, or bring them back into a space where they're as effective, or if not more, than they were even before injury. So I think we have another video to be able to share with you guys some of the details that Susan goes through with some of her athletes.
Physically, I was in a bad place from like 2012 to 14. I had had 2 hip surgeries and a knee surgery within the span of like a year and a half. These 3 surgeries, like those took their toll. I was not the same, and I needed to change something.
That's why I threw the keys to Susan.
She was like, okay, I gotta do something to change, otherwise this isn't gonna keep going here. And so that's kind of when I think we really sat down and formulated this plan that was for her. Good, chest up. Beautiful. As she's gotten older, certain things take longer to recover from, so we have to factor that in. And she does have some constraints in terms of like flexion and extension in her knee. And instead of being like, well, you can't extend your knee, like we can't do this, it's like, okay, yeah, we know that. What can we do, and how can I formulate something that's gonna allow you to be Sue?
We're just going to go to the next video now, too. Pretty awesome, Susan. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
So later on in this talk, somehow, myself and Leanne are going to come up and do some of that band work that you guys saw. And I did a little warm-up, and I'm not going to lie, it's going to really be an interesting couple minutes for us. So, all right, back to this. Susan, so your training and performance philosophy, how would you like describe it to the larger group, and what makes it so unique?
So the way we really look at each of these athletes is truly as an individual. And so it's not like, oh, this is a blueprint workout, everybody's doing it. It's not like that. It's, if you look at Sue and you compare her to someone like Stewie compared to someone like NECA, they all have unique bodies, ages, injury history, movement mechanics, all those things that we really take into account. And then the other thing that I think is unique to our population or our clientele is we actually work with a lot of mothers. And so in that, we have a pelvic floor specialist that we're working with. Pilates is a huge piece of what we're doing from a scheduling standpoint. We are concerned about when kids wake up, when nap time is. Maybe our evening workout happens after they're in bed. But things like that we're taking into account for each of these individuals. And then we have an app where we build out their schedule, and we're attaching everything and working with their teams in and around to make sure everything fits for them uniquely and addresses all of their needs, and hopefully has them in a place where they're ready to go kill it.
Yeah, you know, and that's interesting because, you know, it used to be like your performance coach or your trainer was like in the gym with you. And, and I think that was one of the things when you started working with Sue was you guys actually were not really in the same space a lot of the times.
No,
and
yeah.
So you had to find a way to be able to make it a little bit more virtual and mobile. So talk a little bit about like how that has kind of evolved.
Yeah, so when we first started, that was sort of the main piece that I wasn't sure would be possible. But then when we really looked at it, it was like, well, she's in New York for 2 days, and then Ohio for 1 day, and then Miami.
Right.
She's really not anywhere permanently anyways.
Totally.
And so having something that was built to work and travel with her, and obviously these people are selecting to work in this way, so they kind of have skin in the game in that sense. And so they're dialed in and willing to sort of invest in making sure that they understand what I'm asking for. We're asking questions where you have like constant communication going on, and then we try and do a good job with the demo videos and things like that so that they have a visual for things that we're asking for.
Awesome. So right now, your client base is mostly pro and college athletes, right? How do you see younger athletes? Like this is just a couple pictures of our daughters, actually. I have 3 kids. My oldest is a daughter. She's number 4 on the right, best number in the world. You've got a number of kids, and then the pictures there on the left are your daughter. How would something like what you do be able to like actually be implemented by athletes who are maybe not pro or college yet, but have aspirations to become, or they're really good at their craft and they just want to get better and stronger?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and that's what we're really excited to talk about today. What we currently do is, again, with these like top high-level pros, right? Everything's super specialized, individualized to them. On the flip side, we've both got young daughters. My oldest is 14, my other one is 11, Nora's 12?
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
11, okay.
Yep.
And they're playing the same sport. The sport is exploding. They're idolizing, the people we're working with. They're watching the WNBA. That's where they want to go,
Yep.
But in all my experiences with my daughter's club teams, not once has there ever been any sort of primer or warm-up or dynamic fire series. And so that is, to me, a huge gap that we would love to fill. We have, thousands and thousands upon thousands of youth athletes who have goals and dreams, and this is what they love. And so with the current injury rates, with the current injury rates, that's part of it. But really from a performance standpoint, we would love to create something that is easily deliverable for them to be able to do something that is authentically being done by these pros that we're working with. And that is what we want to talk about today.
Totally. And I think I shared this with you. I was a college basketball coach early in my career and then got out of it, and Nora has brought me back into it a little bit. But I go into these, she's now in AAU, which is like select basketball. I'll go into a gym and there's probably 10 teams playing at once. And the thought of a dynamic workout to warm up is like, I don't see anybody literally doing that.
No, yeah, so that's really what happens. You go into these, these are well-attended events by college coaches. You've got rows and rows of college coaches. You've got these elite youth basketball players in this scenario, right? And they'll put 2 minutes on the clock for their warm-up. That's enough time for everybody to throw their bag in a corner, maybe get in a layup line, do a couple layups, and then boom, off we go, full speed, full steam ahead. And think about being 5 games deep into the weekend, and all of a sudden you're a 15, 16-year-old girl, you're producing a ton of force. You have your body is changing. You have an adult body now, and there's a lot that comes with like not having infrastructure to be able to withstand what you're about to go and do.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of injuries happen.
Exactly right.
And not just, we've seen it at the pro level, at the college level, which is devastating actually for a year. You think about like Juju Watkins, you think about the impact that's had on, her in regards to the last year and her whole team. But you hear of younger players, like 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade kids really having severe injuries because I think, to your point, they're not really ready for the muscles in their body and the movements that they're making.
Exactly right. And so what I think now, I hear this all the time with parents. We have AU clubs contacting us, high schools, all of that, right? They know that they need to do something. It's like we hear these names, it's a fear, right?
Yeah,
gosh, what are we doing to prevent that? And I would like to propose something slightly different. Instead of doing something so that you don't get hurt, let's actually implement something that allows these athletes to be prepared to go out and kill it, and the byproduct of that is injury reduction. That's what I think needs to be out there. And so I'll use my older daughter, as an example. She plays on a really good club team, and we were in Las Vegas this past winter, and for selfish reasons, like her teams all do dynamic warm-ups because I want her doing them, you know?
Yeah.
And so we teach it to their teams. Everybody is so sore for the first 2 weeks, and then after that, everyone's like, oh, I actually feel way better when I do that. And that's the point. And so, like you said, you're in these tight spaces. You don't have a whole field to warm these guys up on, or a court even. Usually it's like a side hallway or a side space. And so I took her team, and I was taking them through a dynamic, much like what I'm doing with the national team when we're in Serbia and warming up in the back hallway. And so we're going through it, and we're using our bands, and I go to sit down after I'm done to wait for her game to start, and I get my computer out because I'm going to do some work, and there's a line of 20 parents behind me waiting to talk to me, being like, what is that? Where did you get those bands? How did you know how to do that? And it's like, there is a desire and a need for this, and so that's the space. That's why we're here today talking about it.
I couldn't agree more. I think, again, just like you talk about the injury prevention a little bit, but the strength piece is really, really important as they're in junior high and high school, so that the first time they're lifting weights is not in college.
Yes.
It's kind of astonishing to me, the level of like collegiate play, and then none of those kids have like lifted weights at all.
Right.
Or done any sort of like outside training, beyond on the basketball court.
Yeah, and so I think that there's so many ways that this could be built out, and layers that you could add to it with like the strength and the post-practice strength and all of those things, and the Pilates that we're doing. But really, to me, if we started with something that is very consistent and make it something where, like, I don't know, I'm sure we've got a lot of basketball players out here, you're probably not going to start a game before you've gone through your layup lines, right? Like, that's just a pretty consistent thing that everyone's going to do. What would a world be like where it doesn't even have to be on the court, but you would never start that layup line until you've done your fire series and you have your body ready to go? And so that, to me, that should start in 3rd grade. It's like part of teaching them how to care for their body moving forward, and then it doesn't seem unnatural. It's not like, oh, what is this? It's like, no, this is just what it is, right?
So with this group out here, I know one of the things that we've talked a lot about is like you being able to reach more people. And I think the example that you shared of your daughter, playing AAU and having, so many parents come up to you and be like, hey, I'd like this for my kid or my team. How do you see and envision kind of tech playing a role into that space and allowing you and what you do and what you know to be able to reach more people?
Yep, so right now we currently have an app that we use to deliver all of our programming and scheduling and videos, all of that to our pros. But this would be different. I think it's like, as individualized and tailored as that is, this starts with something that across the board, if you're playing this sport at this level, this is something that you're including. And we start with something very standardized, and then beyond that, it's something where then, you're adapting it and you're progressing it or regressing it depending on the athletes and the age and all of that and the issues. But having something where it's a known, trusted, research-led app where people can go and the players that these younger girls are watching are authentically doing the same things and they're part of the demo videos, that to me is what we're looking to do.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine, like Nora, she looks up to a number of the people that you even train, and it's one thing for me to say, hey, you should do this workout, but if Cam Brink is doing the workout, all of a sudden it's
There's
like...
Kelsey as your demo video of like, no, that's not low enough, watch her.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It goes a lot further than my feedback, I'll just say. So
but the other thing, Claire, I was going to say what you just said right there. One of the things we'll see is a lot of people are uncomfortable because it's like they don't understand the details of it, and so they'll be like, oh, here, group, go do the warm-up that Susan did. It's like, no. Like, we need the coaches at the youth level to be invested. Also, just in the same way that you're not going to be like, go do the 3-man weave and then go look at the wall while they're messing it up, right? It's like they need feedback, they need coaching, teaching, and so all of the cueing and all of the like specifics would be included in that. So hopefully we're giving coaches confidence in terms of like what they're asking these athletes to do.
Yeah, because you got to coach the coaches too.
You got to coach the coaches. Exactly right.
Coaches. Maybe not me. I think but anyways. All right, so speaking of these bands that you guys have seen in the videos, and Susan calls it the Fire Series. I asked a number of times, what do you mean by the Fire Series? That seems hard to me. We're going to have Leanne come out, if Leanne is available and ready, and we're going to take you guys through. I actually did sign up for this. I volunteered.
Just a quick
We're
version.
going to take you through the Fire Series. Leanne and I are going to do it. And I'm just going to say, where is Leanne? Did we find her?
She's there.
Dude,
there
are you ready
she
for this?
is.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
All right, so I'm going to take this real quick.
Okay.
This is what we call our super band, and this is something we made because we couldn't find what we wanted. And so this is something that all of our pros travel with. It's beautiful because you really don't need a whole lot of space to get a ton of work with this and sort of the intent of what we're looking for in a fire series. And our fire series is something that happens pre-practice, pre-game, priming their body to get ready to what they're going to go and do. So, Leanne, I'm going to have you come over here with Emily. Come on over here. Claire, go ahead and get in. We're going to start with just a double leg stance. Okay. Yep. You Good, you want to come in the middle? There we go. I'll stand back here. So one leg in each. Good, okay, go ahead and ladies, once she's in, there we go. There's no graceful way in, unfortunately. All right, so go ahead and step back with some tension. Yep, step back for me, Leanne. Yep, good. All right, now go ahead and sit down into a squat, not below 90. Good, okay, so, yep, we're wanting good space between your knees. Go ahead and sink back in your heels just a little bit. You have the tension of the band to offload, good. And go ahead and raise up just a hair, right there. Beautiful. Now, from here, what position does this look like to everybody? What are we priming them for? Defense? Posting up? Anything basketball? Okay, good. Now we're going to start to pulse. So nice, quick little pulses up and down. Good. A little faster, Leanne. Boom. Boom. There it is. Yep. There it is. Good. Here we go. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Good. Okay, we're going to do another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, chest up, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and stand to the top. We're going to slowly lower all the way down, all the way up by 5. Okay? All the way up, all the way down. Keep your chest up. Good, Leanne. Both feet facing forward. Good. There we go. One more. No, it's slow. This is slow. That's coming, Claire. Good. Okay, go ahead and meet me back at that bottom squat position real quick. So go ahead and stay there. And now we're going to do a knee driver. This is a knee over toe position. Really, really important. This is the one where we forward rocked. Really, really important for deceleration and being shifty. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. So drive those knees forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Keep going. Good. 10. A little faster. 9. 8. Good. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2, 1. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on a fast decel. Stand to the top, drop quickly to the bottom, catch yourself, and then stand back up quickly. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 10 of these. 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, a little faster, drop to the bottom. 6, there you go. 7, good. 8, good. 9, and 10. Good, okay, very nice. Okay, next part we're gonna do, we're gonna get into a split stance.
How much longer do we have?
We have several minutes. Okay, we're gonna get into a split stance, okay? This is really important. A lot of what we're doing with these athletes is on a single leg, right? And so we're gonna bias that right now. So we're gonna go one leg to the front. Let's actually go this guy to the front first. Good, we'll just do it a single side. Go ahead and squat down for me. Give a little bit of a forward lean and find your glute right there. We got it? On? Yes, okay, perfect. Good, there you go, good. Sit for me, Leanne. Yes, find this guy right there, yeah? Good, okay. So if you imagine single leg stability, if that lateral hip isn't on, we got problems, right? And so we're working to turn this on here. Now we're gonna start pulsing by 20, go. Fast pulses up and down, fast. Go, go, go. Good, Leanne, yep, faster. Boom, 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 good. Yeah, good, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come to the top, and we're going to drop down quickly by 10. Here we go. So drop, catch it, think, bop, good. 2, yep, 3, faster, Leanne. 4, go. 5, 6, good. 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Beautiful. Last one on this side. Okay, we're going to go forward knee driver. So go ahead and get to the bottom. Again, in that forward shifty position. Get down, sit, and forward drive. Go. Fast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Okay, so typically you would go and you would do the other side as well. We're going to pause on that today, and we're going to grab our slings. Okay, so go ahead and grab these, guys. Here you go, Claire.
Okay, wait, is this mic on?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Just for some context while we breathe, Susan.
You gave it, okay, perfect.
Dude, that really hurts, right? Yeah. I'm like burning. That really hurts, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and put these are called our slings. Go ahead and put them around, above your knees. One of the reasons why we love these so much, and we use them in a lot of different ways.
I work out like pretty consistently, by the way, so I just want a little bit of credit on that one. This is still hard.
Females in general have really weak lateral hips. And so we're working on movement mechanics, but also activating those lateral hips, again, for the same reason I was talking about before. All of that single leg stance decel, really, really important. Yes, okay, good. So now both of you, yep, I'm gonna have you guys, give me one spot in the middle, you guys spread out. We're just gonna get back into that stance position. So knees here, but I'm gonna have you float your heels just a little bit. Good, so just hold it there. Come there and hold.
This is supposed to be a warm-up too,
Good.
right?
All right.
This is
Leanne,
what you do
spread your
for a
legs just
warm-up?
a little wider. There we go. Good. Yeah, this is our warm-up. Exactly.
Your warm-up.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, so float those heels. Good.
Yeah.
Hold. All right, now we're going to give me nice little pulses right here. Good.
Uh-huh.
So there's a balance piece to this as well, right? We're going to go here by 20. Okay, beautiful. There we go. So they're actively pushing out against the band from their lateral hips, not from their feet. Good. Okay, from here, they're going to transfer everything to that single leg. Okay, so single leg. This is just a toe touch right here, and we're going to do a lateral push back. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Find that lateral hip, all right?
Did you just kick back, right?
Yes, by 20. No transfer
20.
of weight. A little faster, Claire. Good.
Okay, yeah.
There. Okay, Leanne's got this one. Boom. All right. Good. And so what this ends up being for some of these youth teams, this is like a micro dose of strength, truly. When you're doing nothing, this becomes a micro dose of strength. And eventually this builds up and we're able to do more with them. Good. Let's switch sides. Yeah. Keep it equal. Okay, good. So find that single leg stance. Here we go. Good. And 20. Go. Fast. Fast. Good. So no movement in that standing leg. That's rock solid. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Okay, we got 3 more we're going to do, and then we'll call it after that, okay? 3 more.
Yeah, sounds good.
Beautiful. Okay, let's pause there. Now we're going to do a jab pause. And this really speaks to being able to decelerate yourself when you're trying to move quickly. So we're going to jab pause, push back tall, okay? We're going to try, that's a pretty basketball-specific one, so let's see what we got, Leanne, all right? We're going to go here.
Jab, pause up.
Jab, pause, hold for 2 seconds, and then strong pushback. Let's go 4 per side. Here we go. Jab, pause, 1, 2, push back. Show me the pause, Leanne. Here we go. Hold, 1, 2, push back strong. Knee driver
Stay
right
on one
there.
leg?
Good, so we're getting stance leg stability as well right here. Yes.
And I stay
Come
on
back.
my leg, right? My right
Yep,
leg?
exactly.
Okay.
Push, stand tall. Good, all right, let's switch sides. See what we got. Usually one side is better than the other. Let's see it. Good, good, Leanne, let me see the pause.
It's not that side, it's not my side.
1,
That's
2,
my side.
hold, push back tall. Good, let's go 2 more. 1, 2, push back tall, you go faster. Boom, and beautiful. Okay, yes, Claire. All right, so now we're gonna do those 3 hop, rip down, okay? Last 2. 3 hop, rip down, okay? And so this is gonna be into that split stance. It's gonna be a 1, 2, 3, boom. Get there and pause.
One leg up.
And then we pop back up, okay? We're gonna try 3 of those per side. Let's see what we got, all right? So we're trying to get there as fast as possible and decelerate yourself smoothly. Think of like a Kelsey Plum move, where
just
she's
like that.
changing levels real rapidly.
Just like that,
That's
yeah.
the point. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Get there. Yes, good. 1, 2, 3, boom. Good, Leanne, good. Boom. Good, let's switch sides when you're done. Really, really nice, you guys. All right. Good, okay. Beautiful. And our finisher right here, go ahead and pause. We're gonna do our lateral cat jumps and a final finishing pitter patter, okay? So our lateral jumps, what I want you guys to focus on is landing like a cat. I don't wanna hear anything. So cat-like landing with really good alignment. And so this is one of the ones, if we were to do this with the youth team in front of us, we would just see all sorts of craziness. But by the end, it's like they're thinking about it and then that transference becomes something that they're able to maintain, okay? So lateral squat jump, we're gonna be here, absorb, hold. Oh. Absorb, hold, just like that, okay? Let's try 4. We'll go in this direction. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, yes. 2, hold. Chest up, Leanne. 3, yes. 4, beautiful. Last one each way. Last one over here. Beautiful, okay. Pause. All right, go ahead and stand up. Final thing we're gonna do is our stance pitter patter. So I want you to get in that float position. Heels elevated.
Yep.
Good. And from here, we're going to go rapid fire for 5 seconds. Give me 5 jumps in the middle and repeat it, all right? 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretend jump ropes in the middle, and then last one for 5. Go. 4, 3, faster, 2, 1. Good. And so what that serves to do, it's like our final neuromuscular ask for like fire everything, and then we send them out to practice, and they're ready to roll. Job, ladies. Thank you.
Dude.
Do I get a high five? Thank you, Leanne.
You said you wanted to do this. Okay, so that's the warm-up, everybody.
That's the warm-up.
And that can be done anywhere, seems like.
And we can do it anywhere.
And then
That's
they go play
the beauty
their
of
game.
it.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll walk that off a little bit. Dude, I'm gonna be really sore. No surprise, no surprise. Okay, hang on, let me catch my breath. Susan, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Claire.
So, again, I started the talk with this. I've known you for a long time. I've been able to watch your career progress. And as you can tell by my breath right now, the things you do are hard. Like when you watch a video or you hear somebody say, I'm gonna do some band work, I don't think like, oh, it's gonna be that hard. That was hard.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the uniqueness in what you do, because it's really not like pounding on their bodies. It's actually they're getting stronger, but doing it in a, I would just say, smarter way that allows them to maintain longevity. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know how we're doing on time, but if we have any specific questions you guys have, while Susan's here, we can take those. If not, I'll close.
Oh, we got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So coming back from an injury, how do we help them psychologically?
Yeah,
How do we join both of those things together? That's a great question. And honestly, I think one of the things that when you're working with these guys individually on this level, you are sort of in their foxhole with them. And so you become someone that is a trusted person to bounce things off of. And so you're in it, you're partnering with them in that way. We also have a performance coach and a mental coach that we'll bring in to our circle, essentially. And we normally try and do that prior to having an injury. A lot of these people that I'm working with have their own, not psychologists, but like
sports coach.
Yeah, sports psych that is in our circle prior to any sort of injury. So that way, when it's not like, oh, we get injured, now we've got to implement it. It's like, no, that's already kind of part of the conversation. So we're weaving in that way. A lot of the W teams now have people on staff, which is such a change from when I first started, and I love seeing that. And then one of the other things that we really try and do, this is newer for us, but it's had such a great response from our athletes. We incorporate a lot of breath work. And so we work with a woman who we kind of have our own custom series, and we're weaving it in different ways throughout the day, depending on the athlete, depending on what we found works for them. You know, we're calibrating with each of them to figure out when it best fits, but that's something that we're weaving in, and that really helps with, for some of them, we're using it to actually like excite them, like get them ready for a game. Majority of them, it's more of like how do we help them down-regulate at night or post-game or once they're on the plane after a game. But we found that ends up being a really great thing, especially when you're coming back from injury. There's a lot of stress and like angst and like you want to get back and perform. And so weaving that piece in as well as what we do. Great question. Thank you.
That's a great question. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Currently, I'm not. We've had athletes from a wide range of sports, but right now the two that we're sort of focused on is basketball and soccer. So we have several on the national team and in that pool, and then on the NWS team. So
awesome. Carrie, my wife. What's your question, babe? So the question is, what kind of technical tools does Susan envision being able to scale what we kind of just did to more people? Go ahead, Susan.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're in talks with is having a assessment tool that's woven into our app. So let's say you're the coach. Let's say you're Claire, and Claire's working with Nora's team, and we're going to put in this fire series. Before we do that, we would do a quick 3-exercise series that's videotaped. And from that, we're able to give them an assessment value of, okay, this is where this athlete is starting at. We're going to do this primer series now. Let's say you have practice 4 times a week. She'll get 4 exposures a week for 2 months. And then we quickly remeasure using our iPhone, taping it, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we have something that's, we like measurable progress, you know, to like see like, okay, that's working, that's helping. And so that's something we're envisioning the capability of this app having as well.
So as players continue to be members of this app or this community, their subscribers, right? They'll be there for, let's say, 3 months, and then you would basically evolve them as their bodies are ready to evolve so that they can continue to grow, get stronger, and then develop different muscles.
Right. I think twofold. We don't want to have too much variety at the beginning. We want them to master something to start. Yeah. And then once we have those mechanics, we progress them on. And sometimes, especially with our elite athletes, we're changing things for the sake of change. We want a new stimulus, right? We don't want them doing the exact same thing all the time. Yeah. And so that would be something that eventually, once they're ready, we're changing things for new stimulus sake as well.
Cool.
I think there was one more question over there.
One more question. Go ahead.
So, great question.
We should repeat the question really quickly. So the question,
sorry, go ahead.
The question was essentially like, is there any data or studies around how women are different, especially if they're on their periods, in regards to like injury and how likely they might be? Is that the question that you
And
asked?
just like the lack of research for females in general. So that absolutely is something that majority of research we're basing protocols off of have been done on men. We know that. I love saying that like the Psi Alliance, things like that, they are investing in female-specific performance research, and it's a really great and needed thing, right? That being said, we do have a lot of research, especially on this younger age population, 13 to 18-year-old females, with respect to injury and such, and we know, research-led, that neuromuscular warm-up, priming, making sure that they're ready to go and play, is in and of itself a reducer of injury. We're just not using it right now. And so it's like this twofold issue, right? Like we need more research on females. We know this, it's being done, we can't wait to see it. But we also have stuff right now that we're not using. And so that to me is the main issue that we're talking about now. It's like this is coming, we know that, we can't wait for it. Yeah. But right now we need to act on the research we do have and this tremendous amount of youth females that are playing basketball right now or playing soccer right now that need to be caring for their bodies in this way.
Yeah. All right, last question, I promise. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you want to
So the question is, as women get older and they go through various hormonal changes, what is something that, you know, she recommends to keep them motivated, engaged, and then, you know, keeping their bodies in good shape?
Yeah, so I was on a different podcast the other day and I had this same question. And so we essentially took what we did right here with one of the hosts, and we did it with her. And her question was, well, I'm a runner. I just like to run for just, you know, like to keep myself in shape, but I'm not racing. I'm not doing those things. And my suggestion to her was, okay, probably short on time, right? Like you have time constraints. Maybe you're a mom, maybe you're doing all these things. What are you doing for the 5 minutes prior to your warm-up? How can we layer on either side, something that's impactful for how you feel both during your workout and then after, right? And so what we talked about was a fire series like this doesn't necessarily have to be this one, but something where instead of just starting your jog, turning things on so that when you go to jog, you're ready to move in that way. That would be my recommendation. And then one of the things we're really huge on is Pilates. And so it doesn't have to be like, oh, you have to go to a 60-minute Pilates class 5 days a week to get the benefit. No, like the way we're using it with our athletes, we're giving microdoses really consistently on almost a daily measure, right? And so if you took 5 minutes before your workout to really warm yourself up, get ready to go, and then took 5 minutes afterwards to do some length and strength type work, that's very, very conducive in the Pilates realm. I think those would be really, really impactful for someone who's already working out in a sense and just is looking to layer. Good question.
Awesome. I think we're at time, Susan, but I will say thank you so much for
everyone.
coming. I know your schedule is packed, but it's been really great to speak with you.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome.